good luck in esports, brother. We are diving bot 24/7.
And we are jumping onto the Rift for the first game of day 4 of the split. Liberty looking to go 3-1, try and get some distance between themselves and the rest of the chasing pack. INTZ trying to keep themselves from falling away. Hawk, we've got some spicy drafts going on for game 1. Where do we reckon we're going to be seeing the early action?
Well, it's got to be bottom, right? Again, 480 carries down here. Not only that, Cavolo and Nia seem to both be going to the Carria school of thought, not just in the champion picks, but also in the rune choices, both taking Hail of Blades and Barrier. And in the LCK, something we've been seeing Carria do on all of these weird support picks is taking Hail of Blades and Barrier. What he does is he walks up level 1 and just trades really aggressively with Hail of Blades to get a health advantage and uses the barrier to negate all the damage. That way, you guarantee push and bot. And as I think we've seen this meta on 13.1 Evolve, the team that is able to keep the most shove and bot sets themselves up so much for success just with how important the bottom lane is in the current meta. So I love this from both supports. We'll see if it works out because, again, I'm still not sold. Neither of them are named T1 Carrier, but the technology, Middlecott, is here.
Well, and maybe that's being spread a little bit around the road. Yeah, Cavallo, definitely not T1 Carrier. That is probably not the way that he envisioned the Caitlyn going. But this lane is going to be very, very interesting. I think level 2 is going to be a massive pinch point because we're already seeing some low health bars already.
Yeah, Cavolo already missing 2 of the Qs, unfortunately, but Barrier comes out. They're going all in.
Oh, barrier used by the Ashe. They're turning it around onto Juliera. Heal used as well. Still level 1 for all 480 carries in the bottom lane, but no one going down just yet. Second wave has hit through. Once these melees go down, we are going to be seeing level 2 and potentially an all-in. Both bot lanes do seem to be backing away from each other, though, neither wanting to risk it.
It does feel like Ninja Kiwi got the better of it, though, and I love that hawk shot right there, spotting out for a level 3 gank from the Elise. A lot of junglers right now, again, with bot push being so influential, are just full clearing their red side and then level 3 ganking bot, saying, screw the top quadrant of the map, I need to get my bot lane ahead. So Ninja Kiwi and Nia making sure they are safe, but with the camp still being up, they do presume AC to be on the bottom side. Yampy is pathing likewise on the same side of the map, so both junglers are in the area, but AC is here first. Piloto is walking. This could be a 4-man Middlecott with Yampy on the way.
Liberty have got the shove in. The Rise moving over. Yampy is waiting in the wings, trying to anticipate the aggression as he's starting out, but misses the cocoon. Nia is dead already. It doesn't matter. And now got a little bit of a 2v2 behind the tower. Juliera and Cavallo not really able to get in as they are going to tick over to level 3. We're still not seeing any roams over. Teleport is being channeled as that's a flashback away. Yampy still going to end up falling down as Piotto has to get out. Nosferus not able to help out the rest of his team. That is a massive win at 3 minutes for Liberty.
Absolutely enormous Middlecott. AC, despite missing both his cocoons, plays that beautifully, dodges out on the Vault Breaker with the repel, and doesn't go down. Liberty, what a dive, and there it is, the immediate action on the bottom side. Again, AC sees Yampy, but Liberty with the confidence to still go for it, and the repel was just perfectly timed, and they all drop the aggro, they let the next wave crash, and they go again. TP be damned. I'm loving the confidence out of this squad. I'm loving the early game look. Again, the games have been long for Liberty, but Yampy gonna try to cross map on the top side to get some semblance of an advantage, but Chiari, he sniffs it out. He backs away. Liberty, this is a massive lead.
Yeah, and it's exactly what you were saying, Hawk. This bottom lane is going to be where the action is. The point and clicks you see, it doesn't matter if Assis misses those cocoons because Kyoto could still lock people down. And now we've got a Rise who we were already kind of favoring in this matchup against the casting. 1-0-1, got that tier stacking up and is going to be a threat a hell of a lot sooner than INTZ would like.
Truly, and you can just see how easy it is for Piloto to get shoved. That's what enabled that dive in the first place. That's why I was so skeptical of this Kassadin pick. Look, if this game does become another 50-minute banger between these teams, which it very well could, Nosferus will be an absolute monster. But Rise will be a monster too, and Piloto just has so much early agency. AC just going to solo the dragon with his mid laner and his bot lane shoving out. Yampi is coming down if he does walk into the river, but I think without any priority, it's just going to have to be a take of the Gromp. He's even looking to cover the bot dive with Piloto moving into Fog of War. They're so afraid of the repeat gank.
And that P word there that you mentioned, priority. Liberty have got priority in all of their lanes. They get to dictate when they can make the moves. They get to dictate what plays can be made. And whilst we've only seen 2 kills so far in this game, when a team is able to play this far forward and this controlled, we're only going to see more plays from them. Level 6, though, hit for Nosferos, so maybe mid lane is less of an opportunity for Liberty, but there's still places that they can go.
The XP advantage in mid is definitely a decent advantage, but again, I don't think Liberty's too concerned about the mid lane. They're just going to keep using Piloto to go to the sides, right? And I think they're more than content to let that cast-in happen. And to Liberty's credit as well, they've actually applied so much pressure on this bottom side of the map that they've not even fallen that far behind in farm or at all behind in farm in any mid, bot, or jungle because INTZ has been forced to respond. But the game has slowed down just a little bit. You know, Liberty, they've not gone for any more crazy dives since 3 minutes. I'm sure one is most certainly on the horizon, maybe with AC being on the bottom side of the map and Yampi being top, but
Yoto just hit 6.
He did. So Realm Warp could certainly come through. They're actually stacking a wave. There is certainly going to be a dive here, Middlecott, in about 30 seconds.
And the issue is there's no TP to be able to respond. Yampi is only just making his way through his jungle. He's not going to be here in time. And it is deja vu all over again. Hawk Nia being focused initially as Piotr is going to get that kill. They're actually able to trade one back, but Ninja Kiwi still falls down. The Rise is going to be punched in the face under the tower, but that is a good cocoon to buy some more time. Nosferos could look to clean up on the cast-in, flashing over. Getting the Ignite onto Assis, the will burn down, eventually get the kill. Another Rift Warp Fork. Juliera, though, a little bit too healthy to get taken down.
And INTZ, this time they punish. This time it's a 2 for 3, and this time Nosferos gets a kill. I said that Liberty, they may not be too concerned about the Kassadin, but after this, I might start to sweat just a little bit. You can take a look at this one again. It's just not quite as clean from Liberty. Notice AC again misses the cocoon, but the big one is he starts tanking, but then he drops aggro, and Cavolo picks it up, and that is huge. So AC not able to use the repel to reset it. Piloto goes down on the backside as well, and Nosferos later to the play. It doesn't matter. The health bars, they're too low with the Ignite up as well. AC just ends up dropping.
And it was a strong response from INTZ to their credit, and that's exactly what they need to do when Liberty are going for those set plays. The end result of that is a bit more gold on Nosferos, but somehow Piotr has come out of that still very, very happy. Now 2-1-2 on the Rise. Got that catalyst in his pocket, and 8.5 minutes on the clock, Herald being started up.
It's definitely not a disaster for Liberty by any stretch of the imagination. INTZ, they've caught up, but not too much. And Liberty, they're still going to leverage that priority that they have in every single lane, still trying to push the tempo of this game, and I'm liking what I'm seeing out of AC. Juliera, though, going to face check of Vi.
It does have Cavalo here. The Vi not investing too many cooldowns to try and get on top of Juliera. Obviously has a spell shield available, so could have just used that, but it's a nice little movement from Yampi there to force Juliera and Cavallo to take a longer path down to this bot lane to deny some experience and ensure that Ninja Kiwi and Nia can pick up a couple of plays for themselves.
Always like getting a few plates, you know? Doing the dishes down here in the bottom lane. We always love that. A little bit of gold in their back pocket to answer back for that Herald for Liberty. And AC now coming down to the bottom side of the map. He's got a red buff up, and I've got a sneaking suspicion. This wave is going to bounce off the Liberty Tower. AC can do red buff, do Krugs, play on the bounce of the wave, and summon Herald bot lane. I feel like that's going to be the play, Middlecott.
I'm not going to lie, Hawk. That sounds like a reasonable conclusion.
Like
Chiari might be going for a bit of an all-in. Helicopter ZZK is having not too much fun in this lane as it stands. Obviously still has that undying range, so not as susceptible to death as maybe Chiari would like.
ZZK is up pretty substantially in farm, though, so the Trinimir is doing decently well, despite taking a little bit of a beating right there. was that just like the E animation playing for too long?
Yeah,
I was really enjoying the helicopter.
That is a known bug on Trendabit. Apparently, there's a way that you can actually make it happen every time you use your E, so you just have like this spinning stuff around you. So I don't know, maybe there's some like Trendabit mains that understand the tech and how to make that happen. Possibly the most complicated mechanic on that champion. We got 10 seconds until the Drake is spawned, and once again, Liberty are taking over this bottom side river.
Every time Piloto gets a shove, it's just a fog down to bot river to try to threaten. They are just going to do dragon right now, so no dive yet. It's probably coming, but yet. We'll see what they decide to do. I think they might want to let their bot lane base before going for it. I'm not sure the last time that Julia era went back, but sitting on a Noon Quiver and a pickaxe definitely has some combat power. But there is that recall, so it's just going to be a dragon. Recall for the bottom lane. We'll probably see that Herald play in just a little bit longer. And honestly, INTZ, I mean, now 11 minutes in, they're down by only about 200 gold. The dragons, yes, are something. Yes, the Herald could turn into a big play. But for how much early game Liberty locked in on the bottom side, it could be so much worse for them. And again, there is this scaling Kassadin in the mid lane that Liberty does need to start to worry about.
Yeah, and scaling Tryndamere in the top lane as well. But I mean, even looking at Ninja Kiwi, he's got that Yomu's completed, and with this lethality Varus, you spoke a little bit earlier, Yampy, this is very, very aggressive over the wall. The Ash Arrow from downtown locks down the spider as Nosferus is here looking for kills. The Vi flashing away just in time, but Piotr with the bounces of the overloads gets the kill near. Gonna be forced to heal and get away as the Realm Warp forward comes out. The Ash flashing over the wall, but here goes Piotr flashing on top of him. The Rune Prism locks him in place, and that's 2 kills for nothing in favor of Liberty.
That was ambitious, man. Like, they are diving into the enemy jungle, getting taken down. Liberty don't even need to dive, and they're going to be able to extend their lead. Fortunately, Yampy does come up, so the Herald probably won't result in an entire tower, but this is big money over to Liberty.
And it is going into the pockets of Juliera, who has had pretty decent start to his CBLOL splits. CBLOL career after that immaculate performance on the Callista on day 1 has been putting up some strong performances, and hey, getting Piotr ahead is great, but if you've got a Sivir there as well who can pump out some attack damage, even better. Truly,
and I mean, you talk about Juliera having a great debut, but AC as well, the other member of that Pain Gaming Academy team, and I feel like these were the 2 most hyped members coming in for Liberty, and it's great to see them really being the catalysts of a lot of these plays. But Piloto in the mid lane as well. I mean, remember, no one at Liberty has over a year of competitive experience at the highest level in CBLOL, and Piloto 4-1-2 on this rise sort of flew under the radar compared to AC and Juliera, as I said, as far as the hype goes, and having a immaculate game so far for himself. 2 stacks on the Rod of Ages. The tier is getting there. This is a big rise, and Piloto going to be able to be a massive carry later on into the game.
And if you're able to use that gold lead to keep pressuring onto Nosferus, then you can prevent that casted win condition from coming online. That was a very smart spinning slash from ZZK to get away from the cocoon there. So, right, Hawk, this is another Tryndamere mechanic, okay? I promise I'm not a Tryndamere main, but for some reason I know a load of Tryndamere mechanics. Just hold on, we may be seeing an engage on the bottom lane. Juliera being caught out by the enchanted Crystal Arrow, and Ninja Kiwi is able to get his second kill. Carvalho just in range for the cease and desist, and that one goes over to Yampy.
Really nice punish on the bottom side right there from Yampy. The one time I think AC has appeared in the top lane, INTZ immediately goes in. But honestly, well executed by INTZ. Not too much to break down there, though, Middlecott, because I really need to hear about these so-called Tryndamere mechanics that you speak of. Every time you say that, I imagine you're saying it in air quotes, because I'm not convinced they exist. But
so, your W, mocking shout on Tryndamere, right?
Okay, yeah.
Press it, and what is it? It's reduces AD, and enemies facing away from you get slowed, all right? If someone is in a bush, even if you can't see them, the icon for that ability will light up. As he's looking for a kill onto Ninja Kiwi, who's flashing away and gets hit with an arrow, actually. Somehow, the Varus is still alive, and he at least cannot take him down. But yeah, so what you can do is you can use your W icon to scout bushes.
Oh,
So I think that's what
that is
ZZK was
interesting.
doing. He walked up to the bush, he saw that the icon changed color, and then he spinning slashes away before the cocoon even comes out.
Okay, I will admit that actually it might be the smartest thing I've ever heard about the
That's
championship.
cool, right?
Yeah, that's pretty cool. So nice play by ZZK if that is the case. Great. I love the analysis of that play. Liberty, they are going to answer back the bottom turret here. So INTZ, they get the advantage initially. Liberty, they get something also. And it's actually INTZ with the gold advantage. Maybe it is because ZZK was able to get away with that spinning slash. They didn't give up the 300 gold. That's why they're sitting in this spot.
I mean, wouldn't surprise me. I mean, he's had a pretty good laning phase. His tower is still standing, and Chiari's isn't. That's not how most Olaf lanes go. I'll tell you that for nothing.
If you're my friends, look, you're sitting here as ZZK, and you're saying, I won lane. I got my tower. Like, I think I won lane, you know? No matter what happens, if you get tower first, you won lane.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I think Liberty might be able to take away this Drake before INTZ get to the area. So they are on sole point now, but they might not win the fight. ZZK looking to take over, already popping that ultimate and getting on top of Juliera. The crits cut down the Sivir, and in the rest of the melee, INTZ are taking over. Piotto is dead. A clean ace for INTZ.
ZZK just run rampant in the fight. Yeah, I think he did win lane middle cut, as that was a Tryndamere. I don't even know, just runs them down. I want to say a performance, but honestly, all he did was right-click the other team, INTZ. They don't get the dragon, so it is soul point, but something tells me that a 15-minute ace is going to make that very worth. 4,000 gold is now the advantage for INTZ. Take a look at this one again, and I mean, Cavolo just gets one shot. It's Asholt, Vile immediately on top, and initially I thought, ooh, are they going to have enough left in the tank? It was all on the support, but ZZK just dives into the backline, essentially 1v2ing Piloto and Juliera. Piloto, even though he doesn't go down, all of his team gets cut down around him. And INTZ, there is a lot of damage in this composition. And remember, Liberty, they have no front line whatsoever. I mean, there's Olaf, arguably is a front line, but only sitting on a stride breaker with 5 carries on the enemy team. Yeah, that's a lot of damage.
Oh. There's something very, very cathartic about seeing a Caitlyn getting outranged. It's just something nice about it.
Yeah, it's kind of shocking in a way.
I do want to give credit to Ninja Kiwi as well, because like not only are we seeing the damage he could put out with that arrow, but there were multiple piercing arrows in that fight that were hitting onto a couple members of Liberty. We're not going to have time for that. I'm trying to explain mechanics, but these guys just want to keep on fighting. That Olaf ultimate is going to be great for stopping the CC, but it's not going to stop you from dying. Already, INTZ starting off the fight with a couple of kills. They're going to get even more, as that is a double for Ninja Kiwi, a double for Nosferus, and in the past 2 minutes, INTZ have completely taken over the game.
They've more than taken over. I mean, these fights feel unwinnable for Liberty right now. INTZ is just way too fast. Nosferus taking a 1v1 that I'm not sure he can win, just ends up rift walking out. Juliera will stay alive at least for now, but INTZ, I mean, they just dive in so quickly. They do so much damage. Liberty, even though I feel like they play this fight better than the previous one, it feels like there is no recourse whatsoever.
And where does that leave us? Right, for Liberty, a team that would have come into this match feeling sort of fairly confident after the back of their 2-0 week 1, now staring down an 0-2 week 2. And I'm telling you, that's not the way that you want your split to go. They have got that soul point in their pocket, so when that Chemtrade Drake spawns in a few minutes, that's something that they can move towards. But when you're facing down a goal lead of this magnitude, picking up objectives is very, very difficult.
It truly is, and the worst part is, INTZ, they're not quite to their big item spikes yet. I want to draw your eyes to Nosferus' items. 351 stacks on the Muramana, as well as 8 stacks on the Rod of Ages. Give it 2 minutes, maybe a minute and a half, and Kassadin is all of a sudden going to become a god on Summoner's Rift here. So bad will go to worse, as AC does find ZZK, has ult.
Yeah, going to be forced to use it to immune that ace in the hole. Piotto going forward, read the round one, forcing that girl, forcing the flash as well for the rise of the slow, but it's not enough. Oh, that is a Summoner Spell investment that is going to come back to haunt the Liberty mid laner, as their top laner is being 2v1'd, and he's not going to be able to get out of there. Nosferus just about getting the kill.
Oh, Chiari almost had it, but Piloto, that's what I call the tilt flash right there. You're like, oh, I just gotta get the shutdown. Ooh, I flashed for nothing. ZZK makes him look a little silly right there on the bottom side, and it's those kind of plays, right? When the game's already not been going your way, you've been losing fights really hard, and those are the ones that really shatter the mental, where like you think you found something, but just barely nothing goes your way. Chiari just barely can't take down Nosferas. Piloto just barely can't take down ZZK, and INTZ again comes out ahead on the sequence. Now, Soul Dragon is spawning in just a second here. I'm sure there will be a fight around it. Maybe Liberty can take the Soul and look to win the game through that, but INTZ, they're just going to summon the Herald mid for at least this tower.
This is a load of priority, and I mean, the thing about the Chemtech Soul is, I feel like the general opinion of it is it's good, but it's not a completely broken game-winning Soul like Infernal has been in the past, or maybe even old Chemtech Soul was. So we'll have to see if Liberty can pick it up, and if they do, whether that's enough to keep them in this game. INTZ, though, more than willing to contest, as you see Nosferas on a flank. We are going for the flip. Yampi going in onto the Sivir as Esses is already dead. Yampi is going to be able to get out of there as Chiari is trying to do something on the backline, but it's not going to happen. A double for Nosferas as ZZK is able to get away. Only 2 kills for INTZ, but that buys them position around the Drake.
Now, Liberty has managed to kite this one out. They do still have 3 members alive, and health bars are low. Maybe they can find a way in. Juliero's on the hunt.
Thinking about it, but thinks better of it. And yeah, with a full health Nosferas coming towards you, I think backing away. The wise decision from Liberty there as INTZ stop the Drake stacking and have taken full command of this game.
Not only that, INTZ, you could see the low HP on that tower. They get mid-tier 1. They very nearly get mid-tier 2. Now with Baron on the map, 22 minutes in, Juliera eats an Ash Arrow.
Ooh, a lot of damage as well. Ninja, keep you thinking about it.
That's a lot of damage, as Phil Smith would say right now. Yeah. Juliera, turns out when you can't get the spell shield on a max range Ash Arrow, that is a 4-second stun. And that is a hell of a long time in League of Legends. Fortunately, won't go down. That would be a big tilter. That would be another one of those plays that I feel like would shatter my mental if I was just trying to farm a mid wave and just ate an Ash Arrow and a Varus Arrow and died. But Juliera gets away with it. Baron now on the map. You'd have to think that'll be the focus of both these teams. Now, INTZ could absolutely melt this thing should they want to. Even though it's lethality Varus, not the most Baron damage, you've got that Trinamir in ZZK. They've got top lane heavily pushed out, and they're just going to maybe turn back towards it. They're hovering around. Red wards are littering the river, and I do not see a Liberty ward anywhere nearby.
Yeah, their jungle is being cleared of vision as well, and I guess the question becomes, what do you do now if you are Liberty? Because it feels like you are getting choked out. We were saying that there was maybe some outscale potential in a couple of your carries, but that feels a very long way away, Hawk.
It just feels so impossible for Liberty. You're losing on the side lane. You're losing in the team fight. You're losing in the skirmishes. Honestly, at this point, I do think you're sort of hoping for INTZ to make a big mistake. Now, I will say, INTZ has made mistakes in the past, so maybe that could happen. Nosferas could be it.
He's going to be fine, though. These Ash Arrows from Spawn have nearly gotten kills on 2 occasions. Third one has to get it. But that is very, very dangerous. That is a strategy that INTZ could just deploy, just that easily.
Yeah, it's so satisfying being Ash support. You know, you just are like, all right, I'm going to send an arrow. Like, I'm helping, you know. It's only like a 30-second cooldown anyway. Nia doesn't really have to think about it. You just send it and forget it. So, hey. It works out, and with AC actually getting chunked so hard, forced to back, INTZ will start up this Baron, and again, this will go down very fast. Liberty, I think they might know. They see Nosferas on the ward, so they can see the Kassadin flank, but they don't know where ZZK is. Here comes the turn, perhaps.
Spotting him out, and Liberty are incredibly spit, and Assis is exploded at the start of the fight. Once again, jungler off the board, and a big chunk onto a couple members of Liberty, and INTZ move back towards the Baron. Nosferas is going to try and defend this mid lane wave, maybe a little bit dangerous. Liberty, they will be able to get a tower in trade.
Yeah, they've realized that the Baron is unwinnable. I mean, INTZ, they're all of a sudden a group of magicians. Let's watch this jungler disappear. And AC just gone off Summoner's Rift immediately. Nice objective bounty pickup from Liberty. But tier 2 tower for a Baron, I think I'm taking the Baron.
Yeah. The worst trade deal in the history of trade deals, as someone once said. Let's think a little bit less about that, and let's think about what the next couple of minutes look like for INTZ. As that arrow potentially a little bit more optimistic, but I think now I want to be looking at these side lanes as well. Try and spread this Baron out, use it as much as you can, and push down these structures, get into that base.
Yeah, the 1 HP tier 2, just so easy to take down, and it seems like INTZ, you know, maybe not going to play on the side lanes, maybe just going to death ball us 5. They probably can just dive Liberty under their towers by this point. You've got a Tryndamere after all, but playing on 2 lanes, they have top lane pushing in their favor as well. AC goes in on Ninja Kiwi, they might get him. Nope, flash out.
No, I don't think they will, Hawk. I don't think they will. Piotto maybe going to be the next target, as somehow the Ash Hour is up again, but only hitting onto Cavallo in the backline. INTZ, they are ruining this Elise's day.
They really are. AC, again, I mean, it was a decent early game, but I think it was that botched second dive that just really threw the game off the rails for Liberty, or rather stabilized it just enough for INTZ, and AC has just not found any access into this game since then, and that is the risk of picks like Elise, of this Sivir Caitlyn bottom lane. Once the game plan doesn't work, you're pretty much screwed. In Liberty, their mid-game struggles so far this season seem to be continuing now in day 4. They're gonna go.
They're trying to flip it around. They've managed to catch out Yampi on his own. Actually, Juliera being focused once again as he just dies. There's absolutely nothing that he's been able to do post 10 minutes in this game. And INTZ take over another team fight. Chiari is the only one left alive. And Hawk, I think this game is ending a hell of a lot quicker than INTZ's last one.
This is a really dark ending to the itsy bitsy spider middle cut. AC just can't stay alive for more than half a second. The repel, I don't think, has gotten off in 3 fights in a row. INTZ, it's pretty clean. They're going to take the win. Liberty 0-2 in week 2. INTZ 1-1.
Absolutely massive performance coming out from INTZ. No one could have predicted this apart from me. But it was a strong...